Andrew Cuomo, what would you have to talk to Donald Trump about? Why would you need to strategize with Donald Trump? Why would you need to talk to Donald Trump about anything? Unless it's to collude with him about trying to stay in office yourself. I guess there's multiple ways to come to your politics. You're either born to it, born into it, like through dynasty, for instance, or you truly are a believer. And sometimes people are Democrats by virtue of the fact that their father was a Democrat or their grandfather was a Democrat. We've seen this a lot. We've seen this with Robert Kennedy Jr., whose family is iconic in the Democratic Party over the course of this country's history. Cuomos are another. Mario Cuomo, the legendary former governor of the state of New York, had a few kids, two of which you may know: Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of the state of New York, and Christopher Cuomo, the disgraced former CNN anchor who's now over on News Nation. Coincidentally, I'm talking about both these dickbags today. Andrew Cuomo running for mayor of New York because apparently he can't just go away. He can't take no for an answer. Just ask any of the women who have worked for him in the past that he's groped and assaulted and abused. He's a terrible person, not a good person, not a good representative of a constituency at all. He is a dynastic, power-hungry, I'll use the term again, dickbag. And we're learning now that his fealty to democratic principles, his loyalty to the Democratic Party is really suspect, and really maybe only facilitated based on his birth, because he got on the phone with Donald Trump after losing the mayoral primary to strategize about what his next moves are. Listen, is Donald Trump an authoritarian? Yes. Is Donald Trump a fascist? Yes. Is Donald Trump an American version of a Nazi in modern day? Absolutely. All of the things that we said about Donald Trump being a clear and present danger to the republic and to democracy itself is all true. He attempted to overthrow the United States government by way of insurrection on January 6, 2021. Why, pray tell, would Andrew Cuomo have anything to talk to Donald Trump about, strategy-wise, about the mayoral race in New York? And all of this is happening with the backdrop of Democrats, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, Kirsten Gillibrand. Are there any others that I happen to write down? Who are refusing to endorse Zohran Mamdani. What are we doing here? For all of the talk about no purity tests and we need a big tent and a big team and stop shaming everybody about these little issues, Democrats who say that kind of thing, they're sure not jumping on the Mamdani train right now. They want everybody to just vote for me. We can't have purity tests. And then they applied those same type of purity tests to Zoran Mamdani, using lies to justify what they do. Hakeem Jeffries should be ashamed of himself. Chuck Schumer should be ashamed of himself. Both leaders of either house in the Congress who happen to be New Yorkers. Kirsten Gillibrand, a New Yorker, shame. Cory Booker, New Jersey, who said, I don't get involved in New York City politics, even though he absolutely did because he endorsed Michael Bloomberg, who wasn't even a Democrat. And now we're learning Andrew Cuomo was on the phone with Donald Trump. Here's the headline that doesn't even address, it takes like 6 paragraphs for the New York Times to even get to the most important aspect of this story. Here's their headline, though. Trump weighs getting involved in New York City mayor's race. The possibility that the president will seek to intercede could inject an element of unpredictability into an already fractious contest. And again, it took many paragraphs for them to get to this point right here. And in a previously undisclosed call in recent weeks, Mr. Trump spoke about the race directly with Mr. Cuomo, an old associate and foil, according to 3 people briefed on the call, but who were not authorized to discuss it. Andrew Cuomo, what would you have to talk to Donald Trump about? He's a dangerous fascist. He's a sexual assaulter of women. He's a credibly accused rapist of children. Why would you need his counsel? Why would you need to strategize with Donald Trump? Why would you need to talk to Donald Trump about anything? Unless it's to collude with him about trying to stay in office yourself. And would that have anything to do with the investigation that the DOJ just launched against you that you fear could come with convictions? So you could make a deal just like Eric Adams did with the dear leader to keep yourself out of trouble. You see, for these people, it's not about doing what's good and right for the people of New York City. This is about protecting themselves. This is about courtship with power. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's not about ideological principles. It's about Cuomo. What can Cuomo do for Cuomo? The article continues, the possibility that Mr. Trump would somehow involve himself in New York politics could inject a new element of unpredictability into an already fractious contest. It remains far from certain how or if Mr. Trump will ultimately make his presence felt. And in recent weeks, some Republicans close to the administration have indicated that the president might simply sit it out. Doubtful. Donald Trump loves attention more than anything else. But donors and allies of Mr. Eric Adams and Mr. Andrew Cuomo have pined for weeks for the president to intervene, arguing that Mr. Trump, a lifelong New Yorker with strong views on how the city should be run, could play a role in consolidating the fractured anti-Mamdani vote behind a single opponent. This group strongly opposes Mr. Mamdani, a Democratic socialist. He's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He might hold democratic socialist ideals, but he is a Democrat, a member of the party, a nominated Democrat in the primary for the mayoral race. New York Times carrying lots of fucking water for Donald Trump and Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams. Fascists, everyone. Mr. Mamdani, a Democrat who outflanked Mr. Cuomo in the primary with a message about freezing rents and raising taxes on the rich. Oh no, he's going to tax the rich. Oh, what will we do? This will be the end of all of us, except for those of us who aren't the rich. Last paragraph, it is unclear what precisely Mr. Trump and Mr. Cuomo discussed or who initiated the call. Mr. Cuomo has publicly denounced Mr. Trump, publicly denounced, and then hops on the call. Let's get him on the phone. Let's talk to the guy that I'm denouncing publicly, but privately I'll have all kinds of little conversations. Everything's on the up and up. It's okay, guys. Publicly denounced Mr. Trump and the Justice Department. Oh, here's another little element that I just mentioned. And the Justice Department had opened an investigation into Mr. Cuomo after House Republicans accused him of lying to Congress about his handling of the COVID pandemic. Their conversation came around the time that the former governor was privately discussing with supporters in New York whether to continue with his campaign and publicly pushing Mr. Adams and other rivals, such as the Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa, to drop out. And of course, White House officials declined multiple requests for comment. Look, some things I labor over how to talk about because I know my audience is Democrats largely. And sometimes I wonder, how delicate do I need to talk about this in order to not enrage the audience? And some things I just don't give a shit. And this is one of those things. Andrew Cuomo is a bad person. He is an abuser of not only women, but his employees. Chris Cuomo, not much better. Also an abuser, also trying to use his position at CNN to cover for his brother. All of them are just Nepo babies. These are people who are spoiled brats, who have been raised with exceeding privilege, who feel like everything is owed to them. They don't have to earn anything. When Andrew Cuomo loses the primary, He's now trying to throw a wrench into the works, trying to sabotage the campaign of the Democrat who actually won, who actually earned the admiration and votes and support of New Yorkers. And now, in the effort to throw the ultimate wrench in, he's colluding with the fascist president of the United States, the Republican who's currently overseeing the largest mass deportation effort, the racist Nazi-like effort to create a white ethno-state in the United States. And Andrew Cuomo, sir, Mr. Trump, what do we do, sir? He can't get enough of Donald Trump in and around his ears, lips, and mouth. What did Zohran Mamdani have to say about all of this? Here he is.
I would be remiss if I did not directly address some of the news that we saw come out just a few hours ago, which is that the president of this country, Donald Trump, has been coordinating with Andrew Cuomo in direct conversation with the former governor. It is Trump billionaires who have been opposing our campaign's vision for a city that New Yorkers can afford. It is Donald Trump himself who has been directly conspiring with candidates who have decided to give up the people that they are supposed to protect in lieu of securing power through the assistance of that same administration in Washington, D.C. This should be a race about addressing the questions of who will make the city affordable, who will ensure that each and every New Yorker is safe, who will bring our city forward, not an audition for the best jester for Donald Trump and his billionaire supporters. Whatever Donald Trump seeks to do to influence the outcome of this election, I have more faith in New Yorkers themselves, who have shown, whether it be in the previous presidential election or whether it be through this primary race, that they do not want to support our current president's vision of a New York City that is ripping immigrants from their homes, that is detaining New Yorkers on the basis of political expression, that in fact what they want is someone who can stand up to an authoritarian administration and to the billionaires that gave us that administration.
Didn't call him a dickbag. He's being far more gracious than I believe he needs to be. This is Andrew Cuomo. The thing he said there that is absolutely spot on is that Andrew Cuomo is giving up the people, selling them out, allying himself with Donald Trump. You know all of the fervor when Gretchen Whitmer was in the White House and covered her face with her folder because she was there to talk about some kind of assistance or federal program for Michigan? And that was enough of, oh my God, is she going to survive this? Mayor Bowser here from Washington, D.C., same thing, sitting next to Trump as he rattles off racism. That's controversial for them. To share space with the dear leader, that's a problem. They're not privately rushing to Donald Trump to talk to him on the phone, and they still had problems. So where are you, Hakeem Jeffries? Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, Cory Booker, Alyssa Slotkin, where are you? My faithful, moderate Democrats who have future aspirations of political office higher than that of the Senate, likely. Maybe not Chuck Schumer. Certainly Cory Booker, certainly Hakeem Jeffries, certainly Alyssa Slotkin. You think you're going to gain the support of Democrats in your future endeavors by selling out Democrats and sidling up to people who are coordinating with Donald Trump? I think you've got another thing coming. It might be slow for people in my position to come around and speak, maybe not as aggressively as me, but come to these conclusions, but it's gonna happen. Save yourself the heartache. Either don't run or get it together now and change your trajectory. What do you think? Am I being too aggressive? Do you believe Andrew Cuomo to not be a dickbag? What do you think? You can comment below this video. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I'll see you next time. That's it. I do want to hear from you on this. Please like and comment on this video. Share this with someone who needs the information, who might also want to opine on the conversation. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.